And we're live,
Yes, we are.
live on a Friday
How
night.
are yeah, how are you?
I'm good. This is pre-Mother's Day weekend celebration.
Yes, it is. I don't actually have anything planned.
That's probably good.
Actually, yeah,
Make it your day to do whatever you want to do.
yeah, you know what? I do work a lot and that could be like my Capricorn Virgo energy coming through, but yeah, yeah, normally cuz I was looking at pictures, like on Facebook and stuff, and every year I saw myself going to the park. Like, just going out for a nature walk or something
Yeah,
like that. But, where I'm at right now, it's 100-degree weather and there's no chance in
but you
heck
have a
I'm gonna.
swimming pool, don't you? Have you been to the
Yeah,
swimming pool yet?
no, not yet. I need to shop for that. Things have changed since I've been here.
Well, don't be shy. A little sunshine and chlorine water might fix you right up.
You know what? You have a point to that.
I'm planning to be out in the sunshine, digging in the dirt.
Well, that's the kind that I want to do. And, I saw like this, I think it was a YouTube short on how to cut off of like plants to replant. And I think one was an orchid and one was, I forgot what it was, but it was like a stem. And you cut off little notches and then the notch area would grow the root.
Yeah.
And but I don't
You
know
can
what
grow
plant.
potatoes that way. Do you
But
have a
just
balcony or a patio?
yeah, but I need dirt. I need manure or something because it's dry here. And like I would probably have to keep that thing moist because it just
Right,
dries so fast. Like,
right.
yeah.
Because
Um,
potatoes, those little nodules they get as they age, if you
mhm.
bury those, you'll grow more potatoes.
I would like to grow cilantro, some green onions, and I've recently came across like a lemon. Was it lemon
Verbena or lemon balm.
lemon balm? Because the lemon balm is kind of like similar to Ozempic, I believe. So if you boil like the lemon balm leaves for like 30 minutes, and then drink it as just a tea, then that's all you need. It's
It
just
reminds me of the furniture polish Lemon Pledge. It smells
does
to
it?
me like Lemon Pledge. Yeah,
That's strong.
it is strong. Have you ever
So
smelled it?
I've smelt it as a just a tea that I would steep
Plant.
for like just a couple of minutes, but not like 30 minutes. Or I never really had it fresh.
Yeah,
So, maybe the fresh version is, like,
bee
really.
balm. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So the full moon in Scorpio is technically on Monday, the 12th. And in your neck of the woods, it's at 9:56 a.m. And on the East Coast, it's 12:56 p.m. So it'll be like a midday full moon in Scorpio.
Mm.
And, Scorpio is the powerhouse of the zodiac. And to me, a Scorpio full moon is all about instincts and using your instincts and trusting your instincts and trying not to overthink, not letting the monkey mind in to talk yourself out of something that you already feel is an urge. It's a water fixed sign and in ancient times was ruled by Mars. And when Pluto was discovered in the 1930s, they designated Pluto as the ruler of Scorpio. So that brings in the whole concept of the life, death, life cycle in all living things. Scorpio is fascinated by death and darkness and things that are mysterious and hidden. So a Scorpio full moon would bring light to secrets and things that are hidden, things underground. Um, You know,
I see a lot of that, by the way. Apparently, in the desert, there's bodies everywhere.
oh my,
Yeah,
dead bodies in the desert. That's very
yeah,
Scorpion.
yeah. Like, I just read an article that they were digging at a site. There was a couple of them. Yeah,
Wow.
more than one. One of them was at a landfill, and then the other one was like out, like in a new construction area, and they dug a body up. So it's like more common than
So
you would think.
Scorpio is very like forensics. So
Mhm.
forensic science is a Scorpion thing where you're fascinated by how does death
How?
work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how
And
did she end up in the landfill? Like, was
right.
it
Isn't that interesting?
Mhm.
And so Scorpios get a reputation of being highly sexual, but they're actually extremes. So they can be the monk or they can be the streetwalker. They can go on any extreme.
Mhm.
And the lesson for Scorpio to learn is moderation. So that's this full moon may have people feeling extremely one way or the other. And the challenge is to moderate your emotions, you know, not get too wigged out one way or the other. The sexual part of Scorpio is more of a spiritual sexuality, and that the ideal of outer body experiences, um, the mysteries of the universe, you know, anything mysterious and secret um, falls within the Scorpion domain, and it I think it gets associated with sexuality. It does rule the organs of reproduction, which again is that rebirth, the life death life cycle, regeneration. And so um, with this full moon, we are continuing with the Mars Pluto opposition. And that will stick with us through the summer, to, not as intensely as it has been, but um, Mars Pluto in opposition, both being rulers of Scorpio and the Scorpio full moon, can be very disruptive. So, Mars, you know, that's aggression and warlike sort of energy. It's also highly sexed, right? It's all about masculinity and virility and fertility. Um, Pluto, um, you know, likes to tear things down. Um, One of the feelings I was getting from this, because Mars is in Leo, Pluto is in Aquarius. So that brings in several elements like the entertainment sector.
Mhm.
We may see this Puff Diddy thing started this week. And I know I've said twice, this will be my third time I've said I'm going to do the chart. And I am. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I think I've been waiting for the trial to start. So that jury selection has started this week.
Oh.
So
So where is he at? Is he
Manhattan. It's in a
Oh.
Manhattan court, right? And so some mystery and drama has already unfolded. Like one of the main witnesses can't be found. They're trying to choose a pool of people to choose the jury from,
Mhm.
and they're not sequestered. So, you know, people can still go home and read the news and see all different kinds of reports that come out from other accusers. So it's going to be, I heard it called the O.J. Simpson trial of the millennials, right? So where
I
we,
have a question about jury selection.
yes,
Can they
voir
cherry
dire.
pick
It's called voir dire.
voir dire?
Voir,
Uh,
V,
voir
voir dire.
voir dire. Voir dire. Okay, so for the jury, isn't it like randomized, or can you I mean, like
So,
once it's randomized, then you can pick from the jury.
right.
Can they actually pick the selective people to be a part of the jury to come to
So
serve?
they have a mailing that goes out that brings a bunch
Mhm.
of people in, and they get it down to a pool of 65 people.
Mhm.
From that 65 people, they go through them, like what their occupation is. They'll ask them questions about their attitude of this or what they think. Many people have been dismissed because they're already saying they hate him, so automatically
Mhm.
they get dismissed. um, and ultimately, they want to get down to 12 jurors with, I think, 8 replacements. So the thing is, the two sides, the defense and the plaintiff, or in this case, the state and the defense, they can dismiss a juror for no reason. So you can select who you want, but your opposition can also excuse that person.
Mm.
And so it becomes kind of a bidding thing like, well, I'll let you keep juror number 2 if you let me keep juror number 9, and we're going to get rid of so there, that's the process of this sort of bidding of who can you live with, who can you not, what's the
Mhm.
jury pool you're looking for, who won't be prejudiced against him. If
Mhm.
you've ever had a woman who's been part of domestic violence, you certainly wouldn't want her on the jury, but then the state would want her on the jury, that kind of thing. So
Mhm.
you do select them, but either attorney on either side can dismiss a juror for no reason.
Mm.
So they anticipate this taking a couple of weeks just to select the jury. And the thing about this and the unfoldment of Hollywood are the tunnels. Like between the Playboy Mansion and one of Diddy's mansions was a tunnel. And they believe that, you know, there was sex trafficking that
Mhm.
included children. That's very Scorpion. The sexuality part, the underground secret part, and a full moon bringing that to light.
Mhm.
So, to me, it's almost like, so Pluto is all about morals, right? Your moral values.
Mhm.
And this energy almost feels like a cleansing of moral values. But in order to get cleansed, you have to put everything out on the table, right? You have to bring everything out and then purge whatever it is. And so, the whole thing about AI. So Pluto in Aquarius is bringing up everything about technology and the internet and electronics and robotics and space travel, all these sort of otherworldly concepts. And, virtual reality where you can put on this mask and have sex with whoever you want to, kind of thing. I mean, that's very, Pluto and Aquarius with that Scorpion kind of energy. And so, the cleansing of moral values. So you're starting to see this whole debate about AI, and to what degree should AI take on in in humanity. So
Mhm.
there's people who feel like it's going to take over many jobs, leave a lot of people jobless, and then what do those people do to retrain themselves to be viable in society again? And if we have robots doing everything we need, then what is the lowly little human being needed for? I mean, these are some real, like, crisis in moral value systems amongst um, cultures of people. This is global. It's not, any one area. So this, on the
I know.
whole, is Pluto in Aquarius, right?
Mhm.
So that's what's with us for the next 20 years. This is not a quick fix. It's not a quick answer. It's everyone navigating from their own basis of their experience sexually and morally and aesthetically, what their role has been in their life to produce uh, helpfulness for humanity, or what have they done to feel viable, what have we all done. And so these are very deep thoughts, right? And Scorpio thinks deep, right? We've often talked about this, that
Mhm.
Scorpio minds often are hard to follow because they're thinking so deeply. Scorpio people tend to find others. They find that element in others. Scorpios tend to find each other because their minds are very like, what makes people tick? Where is the trigger? Where is the secret drawer? Where is
Right.
that deep fear? And part of my writing about this full moon has to do with facing our fears. That's one of the
Mhm.
most spiritually evolving practices we can all do, and that is figure out what are you afraid of and face it head on. And one of the things that makes Scorpion people uncomfortable to be around is their intensity to be that direct. Scorpions want the truth, and they can be very direct, and that can make uh, people uncomfortable. So
Mhm.
if you're not heavy Scorpion energy, but you're under the influence of the Scorpio moon, and maybe you have transits affecting this Pluto Mars thing, and I'm going to talk about Saturn Jupiter here in a second, is, it triggers that thing in you that is a little feisty, like you're sick and tired of that person doing that, and you're going to finally get the chutzpah to tell them about it. That kind of,
Mhm.
that's very, uh, Mars Pluto opposition. You're going to tell somebody a piece of your mind because you've about had it up to here. And on a Scorpio full moon, that's a perfect opportunity.
Oh
And
no, like I can vouch for my temper to like just tell it like it is and no have recourse or remorse for
yeah,
saying anything because like for me like what I'm saying is based off of truth, and not like
right,
something made up, and I have everything to back up my statement.
right. You have the receipts.
Right. So yeah, I can bring out the stinger like
Yes. So one of the most interesting behaviors I think about the Scorpio, and the thing that fascinates me about astrology, is how these ancient people who developed it could come up with these symbols of the different animals, or the different symbolisms, and how they actually can sort of mirror human behavior. And so for Scorpio, it's the scorpion. And a scorpion can be walking along and you can go to burn it and it's going to sting itself before it lets you set it on fire. So in
Mhm.
the human manifestation of that, it's about self-sabotage. And
Mhm.
that's, often Scorpio people will sabotage themselves. It's a behavior that we all need to be aware of and protect ourselves from doing it. And I don't really, I'm a 1 degree Scorpio rising. I've had this behavior always. And even though I'm aware of it, it's almost like a feeling of, I don't want you too close, right? There's always a kind of a dark veil. It's very hard to get close to Scorpion energy. They always want, even if there's nothing to keep secret. Like
Mhm.
when I was growing up and first like getting into astrology, and you date a guy, your girlfriends would date a guy, and you all wanted to know what was their sign and what did that mean, and did Cancer and Libra get along, and it was all that kind of love signs by Linda Goodman. You flip to the page, and like, are we going to get along? And but I have been involved with many heavy Scorpion men in my life. I am naturally drawn to. I can tell you if a man has got heavy Scorpio in him or not. And it's that magnet of, I want to see what's behind that veil. They keep this darkness that they just don't want anyone to get behind. And in a dating, getting to know someone scenario that feels like you're hiding something. Who are you hiding? What's the secret? It always has to become some drama or something when really they might not have anything secret at all. It is
It's just
just the
like how they're
nature.
coming off of, like, that's their persona.
It's
Yeah.
just the nature of the thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, with a full moon in Scorpio, you can expect light to come to those secrets and mysteries and things underground. Um, let's see. I desire is the key words. I've done that. Okay. This is a good time to learn how to pivot when plans may not be going the way you would think they'd be. It's like, have a plan B. The full moon's making a trine to Saturn, and that will kind of take the edge off of the Mars Pluto dance. So we have a Mars Pluto opposition that is dicey. So Mars Pluto, the warrior and the reaper. Okay, so that's pretty serious purging and serious.
Sounds like a heavy discussion between
And I think of
someone.
like funeral arrangements and
Yeah,
coping
somebody.
with, yes, coping with death and coping with your feelings about death and, maybe dealing with family members in hospice and what are their desires for how to be, what ritual do they want for being crossing over those, those kinds of subject matters. But there's a trine to Saturn as well, and that kind of takes an edge of be grown up about it. Saturn is the wise old woman or man in each of us. Be wise, be mature, grow up. That's so there's a lot of like boundaries and foundational kinds of moral values with this energy.
Hmm.
Um, Pluto Mars opposition could be separation. So you may find from a long established, uh, stable relationship, Saturn, that uh, finally there's some moral value that it's just done. It's just done. Just can't do it anymore. My mother used to say, about relationships, and they can start out as the soulmate, and you just think it's the love of your life and that everything's going to be rosy. And then people change by how they grow or mature. And my mother used to always put it, you know, maybe someone grew up and the other person didn't. So
Mhm.
those kinds of life forecasts and goals, like if you're in a relationship, that's what can break up a relationship is goals become different. Um, Typically, you see, a man who still wants to sort of be a boy and keep on with his little sort of antics, and a woman who wants evolution and structure and more. That's a
Mhm.
common dynamic. And many times people live through that for the rest of their lives, but under an opposition in this full moon, that could break those bonds. So let's talk about Saturn squaring Jupiter. So this is very interesting to me. Saturn in Pisces squaring Jupiter in Gemini.
That sounds
Squares, yeah. Well, I'm going to give you the mythology of what that
okay.
energy is because it is very interesting. And we're talking about Scorpio full moon, extremes, things can
Mhm.
be extremely one way or the other.
It sounds like, in wrestling, you have like the dual teams. like
Yes.
the tag teams,
Oh,
and then
yes.
one person comes in and they go with another one,
Yes.
and then when they get exhausted, they tag their teammate in and like, all right, you go
I
in.
like that. That's a
Yeah,
great analogy. That's a
that's
great analogy for these next couple of weeks,
that's
really.
what it seems like. The whole fucking tire, you go in.
Yeah. Plan B would be your tag team.
Like, yeah.
Well, the myth that I can bring up about Saturn square Jupiter is in Greek mythology, Saturn, also known in Roman Cronus, was Father Sky. And then there was Gaia, who was Mother Earth. And they loved each other. And Saturn made lots of love to Gaia and had many children. And he'd go off and do his Father Sky thing, and Mother Earth would be grounded and have her kids. And Saturn never had much to do with his kids and actually kind of resented his kids. And at some point in the story, Saturn hates his kids so much, he's actually trying to like shove them back up into Gaia, right? So then she starts resenting him because he resents the kids. And there's this unhealthy dynamic going on between, a father, mother, children scenario. So they have a child named Jupiter, who is also Zeus. And Gaia couldn't get any of her children to conspire with her to make Saturn stop this behavior except Jupiter. Jupiter was willing to conspire with his mother to see to it that Saturn no longer hurt his mother. So, in one of these starry night rendezvous, when Saturn comes to Gaia for a night of love making, she has lured him there, and in the shadows is Jupiter with a sickle. And as he could get close enough to his father, he took the sickle and he sliced off his testicles. The son slices off his father's testicles, takes the testicles and spreads them to the sea. And from the foam of the sea is born Venus or Aphrodite. So Saturn square Jupiter.
Well, I mean, I wasn't that too far off. There is like,
Exactly. Exactly. There's a conspiracy there. There's severed testicles,
yeah.
and there's love being born from the foam. So it's anyone's guess what you might find yourself into.
Oh man.
There's a lot of deep thought there. I mean, that's a
Mhm.
really good myth to meditate on, and in your life and the scenarios that you might find are taking energy or draining you. I mean, is there resentment? I mean, that's a common thread of that energy right there is resentment. Are you resentful of something? You want to, somehow sever it from you and toss it to the wind or the sea.
Well, you know where this is going, right? You shouldn't have stuck your thing where it didn't belong. If you didn't want that to happen. And I
Right,
think that's where the old saying goes. Like, if you're an adult,
right.
you know where this is going. If you don't want to play, don't play at all.
So Father Time, Saturn is about responsibility,
There you
right?
go.
And that's
Yeah.
the ability to respond. So, if you're going to play around and you're not ready for kids, then there's things you do to protect yourself from not letting accidents happen.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so another part of this full moon is a square between Mercury and Taurus squaring Pluto in Aquarius. So Taurus brings up food production, agriculture, and
Mhm.
we've just had Pluto station retrograde for the summer. It'll be retrograde for, I don't know, I think till like early October. Pluto goes direct October 13th. So Taurus is about food production, agriculture, banking, financing. I think we should probably be seeing something happening that rejuvenates farming. Pluto, rejuvenates. With it being retrograde, we might see repeats of prior stories and concerns about the environment and the integrity of the media, truth in reporting. Our algorithms, I think, with what we're seeing on different social platforms, I think there's going to be a reoccurring theme about the corruption to do with our food chain, to do with media, social media, and integrity, right? So, and then we also, just so we're not too bored with what's going on, have a Neptune-Venus conjunction in Aries. So Neptune-Venus conjunction is very romantic. You could meet somebody and be love bombed and just be, Aries is all about compulsive behavior. This feels real good right now. I'm not going to think about what it might be a few months from now, that kind of energy. Very childlike. A story comes to my mind of a friend of mine who ran a personal ad for her 80-year-old mother to meet someone, and she did end up getting set up with an 80-year-old man, and neither one of them had been intimate for 30 years, and they start a hot relationship like they're 16-year-old teenagers.
Wow.
And so that's very Neptune, Venus in Aries. So Aries is a splash in the pan, right? Neptune, Venus is illusion. So
quick, hot, and heavy.
And then as that conjunction separates, you see Neptune has you see that person more clearly. So Neptune, Venus, this is my theory about Neptune, Venus, because I've been suckered by the best of them with Neptune, Venus in my life, where you meet somebody and you're like, wow, this is it. This is it. This is it. And it couldn't be any different. And there was a guy, his name was Earl, that I met when I was like 20 years old. I swear to God, I didn't think I'd ever live in this world without him. And I've lived in this world a long time without him. There was a time when he made the earth move for me.
Yeah.
He was a Scorpio.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And to this day, let's see, 40 years, more than 40 years, I can still think of Earl. Is
Earl the one from the beach?
No.
Okay. All right.
He lived right in my apartment complex.
Okay.
There was no travel needed. We could walk to each other's door there for a while.
Okay.
And then I went off and got married. And when I got divorced, I made a mission to find him. And I found him. And we had a brief dating. And then it just, I don't know, he wasn't being what I wanted him to be, and I wasn't being what he wanted me to be. So he went off and married somebody else.
Okay, that was the one who was your friend. No, that's somebody else.
This was the one. And so, and to this day, I can tell you, don't ask me what that attraction was. If I
It was a
introduced you to,
Scorpio sexual
yes, and
pheromone.
deep, deep spiritual connection, right? Deep
Yeah.
talking about life for hours and hours and all night long, you know. And so that was under a Venus Neptune transit when we met, and it
Mhm.
hit hard. And all these years later, if I think about it too much, I can still feel it, but I don't let myself think about it because it just does me no good to think about it, right? Very
Mhm.
self-sabotage kind of thing to do that, right? Because
Mhm. Mhm.
so that transit gets further from personal planets and you start seeing the person differently. And you wonder at some point, why did I fall like that? Why didn't I see that? Right. And my
Mhm.
theory about Neptune Venus, and that story was too long to get to this point, and I apologize. I believe that we guard our hearts ferociously, right? We just don't want to be heartbroken. We don't want to risk our heart for love. It's painful when it doesn't work out. Neptune comes along and seduces you into love. And so you're seduced into Venus, into love. It reminds you that you can open your heart.
Mhm.
And then when that transit separates and you see a clarity that wasn't there before, the first instinct is, oh, I'm heartbroken or whatever. But maybe it is you opened your heart and it was just an experience to remind you that you have lots of love to give and you're able to receive love. And I do think that's probably the numero uno purpose of our human life, and that is to have an open heart to give and receive love, period. Life
Mhm.
beats us up, experiences make us feel less open to love, less open to intimacy. Venus Neptune comes along and will lure you into that experience. So there's a good and bad to that because it feels really, really good when it's good. And then when the transit separates and there's a little more clarity about the situation you've gotten yourself into, it might not be so great. And I think with Saturn there, that's that maturity to understand that, we make choices. And if we let people cross our boundaries or we cross boundaries, those are conscious choices that we make. And
So, would you say that through looking at astrology, there is free will to whether or
absolutely,
not you
yeah,
can enact or react
right.
to a situation? It
Absolutely.
doesn't have to mean that it has to play out.
That's right. It is
Okay.
free will. It is free will. These are potentials.
Mhm.
Nothing is absolute.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I think when you may have had a Venus Neptune experience and you're on the other side of it and you might feel bad about it or heartbroken or let down or disappointed, I think that's when maturity kicks in to just remind you that you're human with a heart and try to glean the good from whatever that person made you feel. It wasn't for nothing.
Mhm. Well, I
Scorpio
guess
gets very
trying to.
extreme, like, and depending on where you are in your life, I know early on it always just felt like every relationship had to be the one. It just had to be the one. And really life is more of a series of flowing through soulmates and learning and loving and gathering what you can without too much attachment, I guess.
Mhm.
And that's hard because it's our emotions, it's our heart. We want to control what someone can do to that. We don't want to give our heart and our love and and intimacy to someone for them to be flippant about it or not as equally invested. So there's all these sort of power tugs with Scorpio too. Scorpio, we like to be in control. Control is part of that extreme, you know, and needing to learn to be moderate, you know. And if people want to go and explore some other thing, it doesn't mean that what you had wasn't a great thing. It just means people change and grow and not always in the same direction.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
really do sound like my mother with that.
No,
That's
I think
exactly.
that's good, because I think there's a season and a reason for everything that we all go through.
It
Um,
is.
and I think that, like, to the Scorpio aspect, I feel like, when you have like a partner, the partner needs to understand the Scorpio aspect about fear and intimacy and expectations.
And
If
that
the part,
dark veil, the dark veil
yeah.
that, you know, it's very hard to get too close.
So I think that with the partner, if the partner is understanding, or if let's just say it's another Scorpio, because I've seen like two
Right.
Scorpios like are very
Right.
attracted to one another, and they both like self sabotage and like.
Right. 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 That was me and Earl. Yeah. Right.
But I think that there's workarounds. So I don't
Yes.
know in astrology like who is the best person who is equipped for the Scorpio, but I do
I
know.
don't think there is. I mean, there's been plenty of books published and lectures spoken about com-
Compatibility.
compatibility, and I think that everyone's makeup is very unique to a fingerprint, and
Mhm.
you know, over the years doing comparison charts, you can look at a chart where everything just looks beautifully linked and like, oh, these people must be in love and get along great. And they don't. And then you can look at a set of charts like, oh, these people will never get along because there's a lot of oppositions and squares and they have a fabulous relationship. So
Mhm.
part of it is the free will, like
Mhm.
finding the person on the same page with the same um,
Yeah, I mean, it's just like when I do tarot and people are coming to me for advice, asking a specific question. And I can tell them when I read the cards, this is what I'm seeing that's playing out. Now, you have free will to
right,
go with this,
right.
but you can act. I definitely do see when I read the cards that it doesn't have to play out this way.
Right. Right.
Um, yeah, there's like a plan B, or there's like
Right.
another like reality that you can go
Right.
through. Because just because I see one aspect or version of something playing out doesn't mean like that is what's going to happen and that's what you have to accept.
I think
But
it's a perfect way of getting into our cards tonight.
yeah,
Hey, look, I've never used this deck. We're going to check it out together. It's Black
Black
Moon
Moon.
Astrology cards,
Okay, yeah.
Scorpio,
And I have Love and Lust by the Witch
Love
Tarot.
and Lust. Yay.
Yeah.
We're going to get down and dirty with Scorpio card pulls, the deviant part of Scorpio.
Yeah, but first we're gonna start off with Aries.
So we have a lot going on in Aries with Neptune and Venus that we just talked about, that illusion kind of seduction.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this says Black Moon Lilith mystery.
Oh wow, is she naked?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Um, okay, so mine says, Dear beloved, how were were we to know that this is backwards. that this tiny spark between us would rapidly grow and spread like wildfires. We're inseparable. Wow.
Neptune, Venus, and Aries. Here you
Yeah,
go.
it's a mystery. It's that hot, splash in the pan.
Seduction.
Yeah.
Just go with it. Get it while
You
you
know,
can. Is
yeah,
that
just
dude?
I want to say enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Uh,
All you can do is make memories, right? There'll be a time in your life when it gets harder to make those memories.
it might be like a good story to tell,
Yeah. We like our
like
stories, collecting stories.
and Aries might enjoy the hot, steamy whatever that they're
Yeah.
going through.
Yeah.
Well, that's the story that they'll probably tell for.
Yeah. It might
Mhm.
embellish it a little bit.
So next we have Taurus.
Mercury is in Taurus. That's where we were talking about food production, banking. We've already been hearing about certain dyes coming out of the food. Keep hearing
What?
about, like, there's certain dyes that like RFK Jr. is trying to ban from being put in foods. And
Well, I think that part's good.
he's on a whole mission to clean up the food chain, which if
Mhm.
that's true, that's great. I just hope it's not a bunch of lip service.
Right. Yeah, just saying that he's gonna do a bunch of stuff, but doesn't really do anything.
So this is fourth house roots for Taurus.
Right. And that says, I can't get, hold on.
Out.
Yeah, I can't get out of my head about you. The pain of not knowing where we stand eats at me every second of the day. Wow.
Hmm. We've
Wow.
all been there before.
And that could be deep roots right there.
Yeah. Fourth
Now, the fourth
house.
house, what is that?
So that's home, security. That's the grave, the end of the matter.
Hmm.
It's naturally Cancer's house.
Hmm. So, Taurus might be feeling it with their family.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mother's Day could be some grief if the mother is ill or passed over.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because the
Very
fourth house is about the mother.
Yeah, it could be the mother of their children, if it's a male, or if it's a female.
It could be a woman who has lost a pregnancy.
Mhm.
So Mother's Day might be very difficult for some Tauruses.
Mhm. And it could be like the inability to conceive also for some.
Yes.
Mhm.
So go
Hmm.
dig in the dirt,
Yeah.
earth, do that Taurian nature earth ritual to feel grounded and go enjoy some pretty art in the garden. That would be very Taurian.
Yeah, I was just like getting a look into the Taurus, like they might be hurt. Like it feels almost like a Cancerian,
Yeah.
like heart wrenching hurt. Like it was just a weird feeling.
Yes.
It'll be okay, Taurus. Um, okay, so next we have Gemini.
We still have the sun and Uranus in Taurus too. So that's they're only 5 degrees apart. That's unexpected changes.
Mm, I have two.
This is for Aquarius. And this is for Gemini, and I got Aquarius. It says, I know.
Hmm. Okay. Well, I let me read what I see. Okay. This person you're dealing with loves to be sexually surprised. They're infatuated with mystery and is turned on by secret eroticism. Move in silence and let passion games begin. Like, so
Oh,
this person likes a little bondage, it looks like.
oh,
Or, like maybe like a blindfold and a little soft teasing. I don't know.
so that's Gemini. Jupiter in Gemini right now is things on a big scale.
Yeah, well, they know apparently. They know how to,
You're
trigger that
expanding
button.
your sexual horizons and doing the freak here with Aquarius.
Yeah, because they know.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
secret they want to share.
Yeah. So the second one, is this gentleman with a red apple, and it says, "Holding on to someone you can't have yet is painful. It's forbidden from the divine. It's tempting you to break the rules. Will you stand the test of time, given to the desires or and lust, or be seduced by the challenge of absence?"
Ooh,
Wow.
that's
So
intense.
yeah, so I feel like Gemini knows, but they're like, "No, I can't go there." Like, it's like a really hard decision. They want to. I feel like they want to, but they're like, "Mm, that's a tough one, Gemini." But see, you know the apple is the thing of knowing, right?
And Aquarius is the running hot or cold. So it looks like you've got the hot, seductive kind of energy, and they're wanting to be detached. So it's kind of a hot and cold
Mm.
dynamic.
Yeah, because that apple is hot. You see the steam coming out.
Yes. I don't know. This is an interesting dynamic for Gemini.
Yeah, well, they got something that they know, but they're like, they
Well,
don't
with
know how to
Jupiter and
time.
Gemini, they got the opportunity. Question
Mhm.
is,
Are they gonna take it?
are they going to take it and not regret it if it's just for that night or just for
Yeah,
that?
because this is a perfect time to just live in the moment.
Right. Turn the hotel key in and don't look back.
Yeah, it was like what's done is done, you
Just don't
know.
forget your earrings on the bedside table.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
I don't know why I said that.
No, I've seen that happen before. Usually it's hair.
Or just something expensive left behind.
Yeah, so they can come back or let the other one know that
Yeah.
territory's been marked.
Oh my gosh, that could go so many different ways.
I know. I'm thinking like a bracelet or a bangle or something.
Yeah, I was thinking something gold that was expensive.
Ah, like a ring or like
But like you really don't want to leave behind.
yeah.
You really have to think about, do I really want to
Leave this
go
one. No.
retrieve that? Yeah.
Like it's my mom's. I can't leave it. Like
Right, right. I paid $500 for that.
oh.
Yeah. Oh gosh. I'm being bad. Bad, 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 bad Gemini. Got the good twin, evil twin going on with the full moon.
That's the Scorpio coming out.
Yeah. Such decisions. Which way do we go?
Yeah, well, sometimes it's better to keep the thoughts to yourself.
Yes.
Okay. Ooh. All right. So I know this love that we have isn't just ordinary. It's unique in its own mysterious way. Wow.
And I got Cancer, I feel.
Oh, so you have Cancer, Cancer.
Yeah.
So Cancer feels that this is like something special. Mm, very romantic and mysterious, very Scorpio like.
Yeah. It makes me think of the opposite of Cancer is Capricorn.
Mm-hmm.
And there's very similar um, verbs to describe the energy between Scorpio and Capricorn. There's some very similar dynamics there. So this feels like, something pretty serious for Cancer.
Mm-hmm. Like really deep, something. It's not the playful, seductive. It's more like this runs deep, but they feel it
Yes.
in their core. Because
Yes.
look at the look on this girl's face. She's like, like it's
And
intense.
this is like a Zen Buddha, very deep in thought.
Mm, mm. Well, look at the moon. Is that like
Yeah.
different moon phase?
Yeah.
Like going from full moon to new moon?
It definitely feels serious.
Mm-hmm. So what's the antidote for serious cancer? Is it okay to feel that? Mhm.
Well, they're connected to their stomach, so I would say go eat cake. Something festive, something yummy.
To suit the mood.
Yeah, something.
I've been doing that with ice cream this week.
I've been craving ice cream lately, and I never eat ice cream.
I've been having, I know this, so I didn't have banana and I improvised and I got me some strawberry jam or
Oh,
jelly
yum.
and put that all over my vanilla ice cream and I had chocolate syrup
Oh, my
and
God.
pecans
Oh,
and
my God.
yeah, and it was good.
That sounds great.
It was great.
So, there is a guy on YouTube. He's the guy that says, "You mean for 40 years I could have been blah, blah, blah?" Forget his name.
I don't
And
know.
he's had 3 ice cream recipes lately. He does these little quick videos, short videos. And it was you take shoot. Oh no, it was ice cream bread. So you take like a pint of Haagen-Dazs strawberry ice cream and get it melty, and
Mm-hmm.
you add 2 cups of self-rising flour
What?
and mix it up. I'm forgetting an ingredient, and bake it, and you have strawberry bread.
What the world?
And then another recipe was you melt the ice cream and dip like the Texas bread, that thick bread in it, and use it for French toast. Like you use the melted ice cream as your egg milk mixture for French
Mm-hmm.
toast.
Oh, so it gives it the flavor. Interesting. I never thought about that.
I know. I haven't tried it, but I thought it sounded good. And then there was another one that used like like the canned milk and yogurt and like jam and then frozen, and it made it like a sherbet.
Hmm.
But that's interesting. I was at that farmer's market last weekend, and there was a mother and daughter that had eggs from their farm, and they had made homemade strawberry jam.
Mm-hmm.
I bought some, and I've been eating that strawberry jam this week just on toast. It's divine.
Oh, I
It's just
love
divine.
when they make it from
Oh
like
my God.
fresh.
I could
Mm-hmm.
just eat it with a spoon.
I think you have like
I know. It's what else? Oh, I was gonna make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with it one day. So far I've just had it on like buttered toast.
that sounds so
Really
good. I
good.
love jam and bread. That's my jam.
What's
Like,
that? What is that? Is that in the Sound of Music? Oh, what's these are a few of my favorite things. Jam
is
and
it?
bread. Isn't jam and bread one of those? Jam and bread?
I don't know. I don't remember. Sounds like it might.
Yeah, I think it is.
Mhm, mhm.
Great movie. Great movie, right?
Yeah, that's a good movie.
It's a classic, right?
Mhm, mhm. You're making me hungry.
I
Anyway,
know.
let's go on to the next one. Next is Leo.
Leo. We have Mars in Leo, and I'm Leo, and I can tell you I've been pretty fired up lately. Been getting a
Ooh.
lot of work done. Been hauling wheelbarrows full of dirt. And at my age, I should not be doing that, but I'm making myself do it. And this says Gemini, I think.
Okay, I got two cards for you.
Okay, give it to me.
Okay. It says, "You have a dirty little secret. You've
Oh,
been yeah, you've been desiring something naughty. The sexual power of 3 has drifted your imagination into erotica. Don't be ashamed. It's time to explore the wilderness."
I'm guilty. I can say guilty.
And then the other one is, "I keep myself sacred, a place only you can enter. I'm granting you access. Once inside, you'll never wish to leave."
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Okay, someone has access.
Wow. I wish I knew who those people were.
Yeah, Gemini. I think.
Oh, that's weird.
Mm,
Because Gemini energy can be kind of fickle, you know. So to have menage a trois is pretty, you know, nothing really serious can develop from that.
mm-mm. It's all for fun.
Yeah.
But whoever this person is, once they go in, there's no way out.
I swear I could say something so dirty and I will not. I will restrain myself.
Well, it says you have a dirty little secret, so
I,
you know.
I'm guilty. I will say I'm guilty. Guilty as charged. I'm not even going to try to deny that. I
Okay.
do have dirty little secret in my mind.
Okay. Meow. Yeah,
Roar!
yeah. Oh God.
The lion roars.
Hungry kitty. Like,
Yeah. Hungry kitty. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. Sorry.
It's two men and a woman, or two
Uh-huh.
women and a man.
No, two men and a woman.
Wow.
Mhm. Yeah, it's fun times.
One time I was dating this guy and he took me to his friend's house and I got that really weird feeling from them, like they were looking at each other and they were looking at me. I got out of there. Mm, no, not enough alcohol or drugs were available to make that happen. That was a long time ago, guys. That was a
Yeah.
long time ago. I need to write a book. I've had some escapades, I will have to say, in my youth. Fun. Nothing bad, nothing illegal, just good fun. with,
I think it's always good for at least, everyone to write at least one book in their life.
you know what Leo women are famous for? They never forget their old boyfriends.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I can get to thinking about old boyfriends and just, I don't forget. Who is that woman on the Golden Girls that was always a little floozy? Always
Betty?
the other one that,
Oh,
um,
what is it? The curly, the golden, like she
yeah,
had
she always had a man.
Ruth? Ruth?
She
Ruth?
always had a man.
I think her name's Ruth.
Blanche.
Blanche.
Blanche,
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
Yes. She's my alter ego. I loved her lingerie. She had beautiful lingerie. She was always dressed up in some beautiful, silky,
Thing.
yeah. What does JK say? I'm a Leo moon and a Gemini at 29, ascendant, maybe. Huh. Oh,
Maybe. Oh, okay. That's the final degrees of a Gemini.
yes.
So she has a little bit of both.
Yes. Thank you, JK. I'm glad to see you. I haven't seen you in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Virgo.
Yes, and I have. This card shows you that you could be handling what?
Virgo. I
Oh,
analyze.
wow, that's so weird.
It is wild.
It says this card shows you that you could be handing yourself over to someone way too soon. The energy feels desperate. You're coming on way too strong to the other person, and spirit advises you to take it back a notch. You have this fear that they may not want you if you don't give it up right away. But that's a lie. Take it easy and go with the flow.
Wow.
Wow. That is like
That's a
maybe
lot.
Virgo. Yeah, Virgo, stop thinking.
You're over analysis paralysis.
Yeah, you're thinking too deeply into it. Nobody wants that. Uh, yeah, that's really interesting. So try not to overthink it, Virgo. It's not what you think. Interesting.
This might be kind of a tough moon for Virgo,
Mm-hmm.
getting too in the weeds.
Well, I'm a Virgo rising, and I don't feel like I'm in a moment of desperation, but I probably come on strong.
Are you over analyzing everything?
Oh, obviously, I overanalyze everything.
Well,
Mm. It is what it is. Yeah.
that's right. We live and learn.
Mm-hmm. All right. So next we have Libra. Hmm. All right. It says, I only have eyes for the
Oh my
one I
God.
fall in
I am
love with.
not believing this.
Is it
I
Libra?
am shuffling these. Libra, I balance. I mean, it's just weird. You're stuck. Are you there?
Hello, hello.
Yes, there you go.
Okay. I only have eyes for the one I fall in love with. I become blind to the others who want me. They don't matter. I'm loyal like that. Wow. So Libra, you are in balance with one person, your twin flame, maybe.
This is three in a row that the card is pulled.
Mm-hmm. So I guess that's a really strong indicator
It's really
that.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I would say
And
Libra's having a pretty good time of it.
yeah, they love someone. They don't care about anyone else. That's actually a good. That's like undying love, or
And if not for a person, then for themselves.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, which is good.
Feels very, very balanced. Yeah.
Yeah, at least somebody's balanced.
At least, yeah. We've got to keep the world steady, Libra.
Mm-hmm. All right, so now we have Scorpio.
Scorpio for a Scorpio full moon.
Mm-hmm.
I would think there'd be a lot going on.
I would think. I don't know. I don't know how. Oh, wow. Look, we have here unrequited love. You wish to have more than just sex, but they don't want any emotional attachments. You refuse to believe it's true in hopes that they will eventually fall in love, only to end up brokenhearted. Aww.
Oh, this is solar eclipse revolution.
Hmm. Now, are we still like going through like the effects of the
That
eclipse
we
season?
are, yes, from the eclipse season in March.
Mm. So, Scorpio, like, hmm, it's like a song like want what you can't have or something. I don't know. Who sings that?
Um,
But this is a hard energy because there must be something karmic that has happened and you can't help it. Somebody here doesn't want more, but you do. And it could be the other way around.
whatever it is, it's a trigger for some change and revolution.
Mhm.
When
Well,
something doesn't work out, it's usually because something better is just around the corner.
I was about to say, isn't this like a period of purging and
Yes.
releasing and letting go?
And George Michael did a song called A Different Corner. And I once heard him talk about his inspiration for writing the song.
Mhm.
And it's how he met, like, his one true love, who ultimately, like, died very soon into their relationship. Like, they were only together like 2 or 3 years and he died. And, but the song talks about, if I had turned a different corner, we would have never met, and just
Mm.
how fragile life and karma and meeting people can be. You could just go a different way and meet that person, or go a different way and have never met a person. You just, you never know. It is very karmic.
So I think to your point earlier when you were talking about like the Pluto, was it
Re- Regeneration.
Neptune?
Oh,
Oh no, the Neptune Venus situation.
conjunction. Yeah.
Just go with it, enjoy the moment, but
Right.
don't like attach too much into the
Right. Keep
situation.
your keep your wits about you and your identity and, you know, sovereignty.
Mm. That's a tough energy. All right,
Scorpio
Scorpio.
full moon is,
Deep.
yeah.
It's okay. I can handle it. It's just like how I take it is like, you like it?
Yeah.
Just another.
Just do the best we can.
Hmm.
I've actually been, I've had a busy, challenging week, but it's been good in that I'm not dealing with sick animals or myself. My finger's finally getting a little better.
Okay, good.
there for a week or a couple of weeks. Between my shoulder and my finger, I was just nursing something.
Yeah.
Nothing major, but just little annoyances, like,
Mhm. Well, hopefully it all gets cleared out by June, I would say. That's
yeah.
the big reset for you.
Yes, that's my vacay at the beach.
Mhm.
I'm going to lay like a lobster or lay like broccoli.
Broccoli. I got broccoli today,
You
actually.
did?
Yeah.
Hey, broccoli the other day.
Okay, so for Sag, I'm not the type to tell you I love you. Instead, I show it with my actions. I want to spoil you in every way, shape, and form. Talk is cheap. Actions speak louder than words. Wow.
Nice. And this is very faded. North Node, life's purpose.
Oh, well, Saggy.
Yeah, you got it going on with something.
Yeah, sounds serious. You love someone, you're telling someone that you love them, and
With a bunch of red roses.
yeah, so you're not talking, you're doing. Interesting.
I like this. It
Mhm.
feels very expansive, like, a new stage of a relationship or chapter.
Mhm. Mhm. It's actually really nice. So sad, I mean, like this might be like your season. Uh, it's actually nice. I like it.
I think so far I like that one best.
Yeah, me too. Sag is doing well. All right, so next we have Capricorn.
The hard-working mountain goat.
Mhm.
I really like these cards.
Yeah, they're nice.
This is ninth house, faith.
Faith.
So ninth house is typically the Sagittarian house where you find um, dreams and visions, long journeys, philosophy, religion, faith.
Okay. I have something quite naughty though.
Oh,
It says someone has a secret fetish for you. They want to worship and down. Oh, they want to worship you down to your feet, to taste you, caress you, and explore every inch of your skin. Allow it, tiptoe your way in. Ugh, like
oh, wow.
that is just gross. Like
Wow. He's
someone
sucking
has
on your toes.
a foot fetish. That's I don't
I've heard
know.
about those. Is it a real thing?
Yeah, yeah, it is. That's next level, Cappy.
Have faith.
Have faith.
Have faith, he'll eventually get to your lips.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, Cap. If you're into that, then okay, fine. This Cappy is
I
not.
think it kind of means take a break from work.
You know, yeah, I thought about that, and I might for a little bit, so just for a little bit. Hey, yeah, have faith, I guess.
Interesting.
Somebody
Interesting.
wants to play when you don't want to, I guess.
Yes. Yes. Well, if you don't want to play, I'll just suck on your toes.
Yeah, I would have been like, get off my freaking toe. It was gross.
That's so funny.
But for the ones who enjoy, then this is your time.
There's people here. Let's see. What what does 3 represent for you? Mind, body, spirit.
I was about to say third party situation.
Hi, Jackie. There are no coincidences. It's the way the universe communicates to get your attention. Yes.
Mm.
Oh my, I'm a crappy son. I don't think so. It's all good. All evens out.
Mm.
Aquarius, Pluto,
Yeah,
Aquarius. Yeah, Pluto's going through it. Mars. So here is that Pluto
Ford.
Mars opposition for Aquarius.
Well, I have the moment you've been waiting for has finally arrived. Your love interest is about to confess their love to you.
Wow.
Okay, well, you're going to hear it,
And this
Aquarius.
is all about Mars and force. So that's very sexy.
Mm-hmm. Like very upfront and blunt, maybe.
And unconventional being Aquarius.
Mm-hmm. Look at that. Look at like two different hands. It's like, oh, it's two people holding it, the flowers.
And this is like Mars the warrior. He looks like a Greek warrior in this picture.
Hmm. So you could get a confession soon.
Yeah.
It comes out of nowhere. Like,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I mean, that's actually good news, Aquarius.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I almost like that one as much as Sag.
Yeah, they seem to be doing well.
I'll trade my Leo for the Sag and Aquarius.
What placements do I have in that? Uh, and finally, well, we have Pisces.
Pisces, where we still have the North Node and Saturn hanging around. Oh, I like this. Moon, the soul.
Hmm. And I have the emotional intimacy you've been waiting so long has finally come to manifest in a physical form. A long-awaited fantasy will now be played out. Wow.
I like that.
Okay, so it finishes off pretty nice. Maybe
Very
Pisces,
nice.
yeah. You have a very soulful, intimate connection with someone you've been waiting for a while.
Nice, Pisces.
Mhm.
So be it.
That's really good.
We can all have that one.
Mhm.
This has like Mayan statues in it with the moons. But it's pretty colors.
Oh yeah, I see like the different phases of the moon up top.
Yeah.
And then like the whatchamacallit in the pyramid glyph,
Yes.
which you can yeah.
I love these cards.
Yeah, that's actually a really good choice
I
for
don't
today.
know where they came from, but I know I've had them a long time, but I've never used them. It says it's by Susan Shepherd. And in the bottom, look who we had hiding. We had Scorpio and Venus hiding.
Oh my god.
They weren't in the deck, so they got to have some play here. We got Scorpio and Venus.
Yeah, I don't see foam or
Yeah. Love and transform. That's a really good way to look at this full moon. Is transformation through love. I like that a lot.
Mm, mm. Okay, let me see here. I need to get back to the thing.
I really like them.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea where they came from.
Well, you had it out.
I'm trying to purge in my office, which means,
Physical things.
yes, boxes
Mm.
of things.
I was purging through my server, like
Oh, wow.
electronic things
Wow.
that I've kept over in the past decades or so. Yeah, I'm still
So
working on it.
we have a Gemini new moon on Monday, May 26th, which happens to be Memorial Day.
Okay. And you're going on vacation, right?
I'm taking time off from work, but it's a staycation. I'll be at home. We
Okay.
can do whenever you'd like. If you want to do the Friday or whatever
We
you
can
want to
we
do.
can do Friday.
That would be the 23rd.
Okay. Yeah, because I'll let you, because I know you have like different schedules coming up.
So that day, I'll be off. Um, whatever,
So you want to do it earlier, maybe?
if you do,
Yeah, I don't mind. It's just I need to know what time though.
what time works for you?
I can schedule my day. So just as long as it's not early, because I don't
Well,
know how many hours behind I am. Am I 2 or 3?
3.
3.
I have Saturn in the 12th house at 0 degrees. Does that count? Fingers crossed for me that it does. Sounds amazing. Don't know where they came from. Enter 3 for 3. Duality of. I don't know what that means. SS. Absolutely. Just take the ownership that it counts, is what I would say. Um, so, what do you think for people coming into the chat? Do you think during the afternoon? Um,
I couldn't tell you because normally we do like in the evening, but if it's a holiday weekend, I don't know. It's really we
Friday.
still can change the time before then. Um
So, on a typical Friday afternoon, do you have some downtime that works for you best, or
um I think like the time that we originally planned for was actually a good time.
like for
Um
you, like at 4?
mhm. Mhm.
And so then I would be at 7.
Mhm.
We can
Or
keep that if you want. It's fine.
mhm. Okay. Yeah.
That
And then
way,
if anything changes before, then we can always make changes.
and I can hopefully dig in the dirt during the day and clean up to be presentable for a talk about Gemini new moon. What else is going on? We've got the new moon holding hands with Mercury and making a trine to Pluto. This looks good. Of course, we all know the new moon's time to start something good. I have to look into what else is coming up. Let's see. I think we have. No, we don't have anything going retrograde all the way through June. We've got Mercury doesn't go retrograde to the middle of July, but Neptune and Saturn will be going retrograde the first part of July. So we're still through that. I feel like that really like clear energy where nothing's really a personal planet's not retrograde, and get things done and things sort of unfolding without too many hiccups. And so the thing, JK, about vacay is this. So I'm not used to having paid time off, because when you work for yourself, you don't get paid when you have time off usually. And so I'm at a place where they don't let you carry over time. You can carry over some, but they really encourage you to take it. And so I'm trying to make myself take it. I took like a Friday and Monday off in April and made a long weekend. I've got a week off. I've got this long weekend at Memorial Day. That's 5 days. I have a week in June off. I took an extra day around 4th of July. Took a couple of days in August. I'm seriously considering taking the remainder of the week of Labor Day. Yeah. So.
Well, I think that's good,
I do enjoy those days off, I tell you.
Yeah, I would.
But it's refreshing to go back in too after having that time down, because even when I used to take time off where I used to work, I'd always bring my computer home, and even though I was off, I would still check things.
So this is like the first time that you feel that you don't have to.
I don't take my computer, yeah.
That's actually good. I want to say change.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was telling you before we came live about, I guess it's finding the situations you can tolerate the best and weighing out like the good and the bad. And I guess for the situations I've had for the last few years, this is one of the better arrangements because it does give me the freedom to work at home when I need to. I get 3 weeks off a year. And they have really great benefits. So some just one or two of the personalities can be a little prickly, a little challenging, but I'm just trying to teach myself to not bring it home. Just, if somebody wants to get prickly during the day, just leave it at the door and get home to my puppy dogs. And Leon's so funny. It's like he waits once I'm home and we've walked and he's eaten. He waits for me to sit down and he flops over my lap. And Mojo sits at my feet. It's the position, right? It's like they follow me and wait till I sit down. And as soon as I sit down, they get to the same position every day. It's weird how regimented they are. Yeah. Yes, so I went to see Marianne a couple of days ago before they had a lockdown due to COVID, believe it or not. They're still doing that around nursing homes. And, actually, JK, this is a terrible but funny story. I got brave and I took both dogs to the nursing home. I usually just take one because they're so rambunctious. But I don't know, I was feeling kind of brave and I said, okay, I'm going to take them both. Because
Mm.
the old people there love when people come in with their dogs, right? They just love petting them, and most all of them had dogs at some point or whatever. So she's sitting in her wheelchair out in this like day room, and I pull up a chair next to her, and I'm trying to keep the leashes of my dogs kind of close to me so that they can't get too nosy, or when I'm talking to her. And this nurse taps me on the shoulder, and I looked at her. She goes, your dog Leon was taking a crap
No.
right there.
Is that a sign or what?
So these two or three different nurses just started coming at me with rubber gloves, bleach, paper towels. So I'm feeling pretty embarrassed getting it all cleaned up. He's oblivious. He's like, I'm a dog. That's what I do.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
And Marianne was oblivious. She didn't seem bothered at all, which I was glad because I thought it might kind of upset her, but she didn't seem at all concerned. So, yeah, that was my last trip.
Oh my god.
So then I called her the other day because I was thinking about going over there, and she said they had them, locked down in their rooms, that there was quarantine.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's brave to like sit in the middle of a nursing home day room and watch your dog poop. Leon, Leon, Leon. He's such a
And if
mess.
Luna does that, it's either she's super excited and can't contain herself, or she just
Well, when you hold a dog still, like you don't let them,
like
um,
move.
right, they
Hmm.
will. I wasn't thinking of that, but like if you're walking a dog and it's trying to decide whether it wants to go to the bathroom or not, if you just stand still and don't let it move, they will take care of business.
Hmm.
Yeah, I almost went over there today, but I wasn't sure if the quarantine was up or not. I just, I don't have a good feeling about that at all.
I know this sounds disgusting, but I read a bunch of disgusting stuff.
Like a
And
good Scorpio would.
yeah, I know. This is disgusting. So, uh, this gentleman was caretaking for his aunt who was in a group home. And so, like, he would like frequent, the place, to go, take care of her. But then one day, one of the nurses found, like, bodily fluids down there. Yeah, you know where this is going. So I think like the granddaughter of the aunt, or something like that, put a cam in there and caught him
Some.
doing that, and then now he's in jail.
Wow.
That is gross. That's his aunt. Like what in the world? Like why would they do that? I don't know. I don't know why.
Okay. So here's Rex Bill's. This is the rulership book. When you look up nursing homes,
Mhm.
they're represented by the moon and Virgo. Oh, right. That's the 12th house, Neptune. So, I was trying to think some transits that have been going on. I'm not sure. Virgo, Neptune, the moon, 12th house. Because there's been several news stories around here lately of terrible things happening in nursing homes being shut down and under investigation. So there's some transit bringing out the delinquencies in nursing homes. So this one place has been around like 30 years. A friend of mine lives near it, and she's like, "Oh yeah, we've always known bad stuff was going there, but nobody would do anything about it." And the state like pays inspectors to go and like supposedly inspect these places, but she said they always know when inspectors are coming, so then they, get everything looking right, and then they don't do like impromptu inspections. So this place had an incident with this woman that had a really bad bed sore, and it turned into sepsis, and she died.
Mm.
And it wasn't till she actually got taken to the hospital, and she died very soon after getting to the hospital from the blood infection, that then they started focusing on the management and what was going on at the nursing home. And they removed like 16 employees, the manager and 16 employees from this place. And the state moved in and put other people in place to take care of it while they investigated. And um, yeah, I mean, every time I go, where Marianne is one of the nicer places in that, when you walk in, you don't smell that really rancid smell.
Mm.
Um, Generally, there seems to be enough staff to take care of the amount of residents. It's a fairly large place, and the food seems decent. Um, and they do activities, like they have a big activity room that they, like I think last Mother's Day I went there and they wheeled everybody into this room to have tea. It's like
Mm.
Mother's Day tea.
Mhm.
And they
Mhm.
do, little entertaining things. So she says to me every time I go, if I have to be somewhere, this is fine. They take care of me. I get what I need. Um, I still wouldn't want to be there. I wouldn't want to be anywhere like that.
Mm.
So yeah, we could use some regeneration of that whole industry, couldn't we?
Mhm. Mhm. That's a hard one though.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I'm going to go love on my puppy dogs.
Okay.
I have not assumed the position.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, Luna's in her kennel, so she's not acting out right now. So she's
I hope
been.
you have a nice weekend and don't work too hard. Do something for yourself for being a good mother and honoring mother things. So
Mhm.
my
Mhm.
vet is my dog's breeder, right? And I've known her 30 years. And I came home yesterday to this big vase. I was going to bring them up here, but I don't know where to set them. Snapdragons. They were beautiful. And a
Oh.
note from her that said that they were from her garden. And I'd sent her a birthday card like a month ago. So
Mhm.
she brought these flowers and a note to my door. And they're
So you have big snapdragons?
huge.
Wow.
huge. I've never seen such big ones.
Well, that's good for the garden.
Yeah, I need to ask her how she got them that way. They were cut. She had them in like a vase of water. They were cut flowers,
Mm.
and I've never seen such big, healthy ones like that. They were just beautiful. It was really a nice thing to come home to.
Oh, well, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's my Mother's Day for the fur kids.
Mm.
And one dog this time, she says.
Mhm.
I hope everyone enjoys a nice Mother's Day, whether you're a mother or not.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day to everyone. Um, yeah.
There's this really old hotel downtown. It's a beautiful old hotel. They're having a Mother's Day tea, and I thought about going, but then I was like, no, I think I'd rather just stick to my yard and get some stuff done outside. It's supposed to be a nice weekend.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll be thinking about our moms, and that'll be good.
Yeah, I'm thankful for mine.
Yeah. All right then. Well, it's good to see you, and I hope there was some helpful information, and just keep it between the lines.
Mm. Yes, definitely.
All right then. Good night. See you soon.
Okay. All right. Good night. Thank you for being here with us today.
Anytime. Thank you. Bye
Okay.
now.
All right. Bye-bye.